Hello to my Cancers. This is Queen Amun Ra coming to you with your general reading, Cancers. Hopefully you all are having a great weekend wherever you are. Hopefully your weekend is wonderful. We're going to dive right into your reading. I've already prayed over your cards, so we're going to just dive right on into it. See what's going on here. This is a general reading, so take only what resonates with you, right? Just take what resonates with you. All right, let's get into it. So, all right, is there a present or current situation that Cancers need to be aware of, Source? Is there a current situation that Cancers need to be aware of? Let's see. All right, something is keeping you and someone apart. Something is happening going on behind your back, right? Two symbolizes duality, opposites, polarity, intuition, reflection, partnerships. So as you all are, this right here, you have a window of opportunities coming your way, right? So you want to stay focused on moving forward. This is you right here. Make sure you can get this in the frame here, right? You're going from local to international. Some things are being done behind your back, right? Some people are making some impulsive moves because they assume, this is an assumption, that you are going to disrupt their peace in some way, shape, form, or fashion. The number 2 symbolizes peace, right? So some energies is like, just in case they disrupt our peace, we're gonna take some kind of action. That's unfortunate that people would be impulsive, right? Your sign really is a sweetheart sign. Not to say that all Cancers are sweethearts, but your sign is a sweetheart sign, right? And I feel like somebody is high vibrational. This is this right here. Lets me know that you're high vibrational. So this is what's kind of at hand right here. Something that you're trying to do right here. You're inspired. You're inspired. You're taking a leap of faith. You got a lot of opportunities coming in to you. Here, 2 major opportunities coming in. And so these energies are like getting in between you and somebody. It could be like you and a spouse. It could be you and a best friend, you and a child or children or whomever. Trying to get you between you and family or friends, or trying to get between something, right? Let me tell y'all again, I gotta say this if you're new to my channel, welcome. If you're coming back, welcome back. How dangerous familiar spirits are. I gotta reiterate this. It's like being in a competition that's going on behind your back that you aren't even aware of. Somebody's competing with you behind your back and you're not even aware. Here you are focusing on, like, you can't even fit everything on this card on this window sill right here, right? What I can tell you, give it no air. Keep your vibrations high. So, is there a problem that Cancer is facing? Any obstacles that stand in Cancer's way? Somebody is just dealing with bullying and impulsive energies. They're bullying and impulsive energies. And these type of energies, y'all cannot give any air to whatsoever. These are the types of energies that, when I'm serious, you really, really have to continue focusing on your prayer life. Looking at your cards here. Because one, Lionsgate portal is open until the 12th, right? And we get closer and closer to this Lionsgate portal. You may actually be watching this video on the 2nd of August, right? And you're trying to expand, and these energies are becoming more and more impulsive. Part of it is because 3 planets are currently retrograde in Aries. Aries is ruled by the Tower card, right? So they're becoming impulsive by the day because the planets, you got 3 planets, Saturn, Neptune, and Chiron, are retrograde in Aries, right? Aries is ruled by Mars. That's a fighting spirit planet. But it's also a very masculine, and it's a sexual planet, right? So instead of them getting structured and organized, whoever these energies are, they're impulsively doing something behind your back. I'm telling y'all, your best bet is to, like I said, you're covering yourselves through prayer. Whatever scriptures you have, or however you cover yourself in prayer, that's how you're covering yourself, because you have a window of opportunities coming in your way. You're waiting on some results for something. But yeah, in the spiritual realm. Yeah. So any challenges, Source? Yeah. Yeah. So these energies are obsessed. Whoever these energies are, they're obsessed with a truth about something coming out. because they've already lied about you behind your back. Whoever you are, they've already lied about you behind your back. So that's where the obsession comes in. It's like, oh gosh, okay, we hope something doesn't come out, you know. So this is why I'm telling you all to rise above any kind of judgment, because you're breaking some kind of generational cycle, chain, and curse, right? You don't meet negative energy with negative energy, period, for real. Like, this is, if I can keep the collective community on my channel focused on keeping your vibrations high, keep your vibrations high. Keep them high. A lot of people are not willing to go to the highest frequency. These energies want you to vibrate on a low frequency. They want you to operate in the flesh. That's not the frequency that you're on. Rise above it. This right here, this judgment card is currently retrograde, right? So you're marching to the beat of your own drum. You don't do things like everybody else. So you're staying away from fire. You're staying away from fire. You're staying away from anybody who is argumentative, low vibrational, anybody who does not, bullying type of spirit. You're staying away from any of that. Anybody that's impulsive, anybody who that takes everything the wrong way. You can't say anything. They just, you know, what? Just always on one. Like, you stand away from those types of spirits, period, in your personal and your professional life. So what about the distant past, long ago events that have influenced and shaped the current issue or situation? Yeah. Yeah. Something about you working on yourself is really sending people. It's like, what's the phrase I see a lot of the younger generation put on social media, which cracks me up every time I see it. It's like somebody said something is sending them. But anyway, I guess what they're referring to is like, it's like mind blowing. Yeah, that's what it is. That's what I sort of interpret that term to mean. Is like, it's almost like mind blowing that, you know, people are offended. This is why you can't let any of this get to you. It's almost like darned if you do, darned if you don't. People are offended that you are working on you're working on yourself. Like you want to improve. That you can't be broken in like a horse. Like you won't follow somebody else's lead. Like you're an animal or something. Not cool at all. Like because you want to expand. Like you want to be. These are family members or friends or whatever. It's almost like, okay, like you won't follow something generationally. I don't know what it is generationally that you would need to follow, because what I'm picking up on, because what we see here is night energy here is something you're not even aware of. See, this person is like barefoot. This person is barefoot. So how would you know what you're even following? I don't even think, honestly, because we're talking about this fire here, I don't even think whoever these energies are that's keeping you apart from something, like keeping you and somebody separate, this is where the confusion comes in. It's not even starting at the root. Something that's not even starting at the root. That's why you need to rise above the judgment. That's why you need to rise above the judgment. This is to further keep you in a state of confusion. And the enemy is the author of confusion. The devil is the author of confusion. So, that's why somebody don't need to give any air to it. Air would feed the flames. It would feed the fire. If you were to ask these energies, whoever these two energies are, what is the root of all of this? They couldn't even tell you. They would just say, well, just follow us. Well, okay, where are you leading? Where's somebody leading you to? What's the saying that people would say, parents would say to their kids? Like, yeah, that's what I'm seeing here in your card so far. So Source is saying to you, these energies, you're asking why. Like why something is a certain way, right? And so first you start out with a spiritual death, okay? First somebody says, okay, we're going to separate these energies, right? And we're going to work on one energy to break an energy in a certain way. But you rose above something. So whether this is in a workspace, in your personal or your professional life, so it's saying everybody should be entitled to ask the question why. Why is something being done a certain kind of way? Because that also lets you know you have a brain. You may have some suggestions to make something run smoother. You may have something to pour into something to help something where people feel like, oh, okay. Remember, you're a water sign. Water is creative. You may have some creative ideas that's going to help something to run smoother, right? So, sources say, without any judgment at all, you're not judging anybody. You're just asking a question, why? So this was the first issue here. These energies are simply familiar with something, and they went right into splitting you and somebody else up. Whoever this is, they just wanted to jump right between you and somebody else and start working on somebody else. And you chose to rise above the judgment. All right, so recent past, yeah, Tower. You're in a very vulnerable space here. And so this right here lets me know that your prayer life has increased because you're starting to have, remember Chiron just went retrograde at the end of July. Just went retrograde end of July, and it went retrograde in Aries, right? Aries that's the Emperor card. So this is where sources saying you need to structure your prayer and meditation because you're praying for anybody that you were split apart from that has been broken in, like from the ground up. See how this person has no shoes on, right? That's who you're praying for. You're not judging them by anything. You're not obsessed with judging somebody because something didn't even, it's like, what you see missing here is the sacral chakra piece of it. That's what you see missing here. Root, then it should be sacral chakra, and then wands. So the feminine aspect has been removed from a situation. That's what's been removed. Somebody was so impulsively judging you, whoever these energies were, they showed no mercy on somebody. None. Just obsessed in a very unhealthy way. These two cards right here rule Scorpio. It calls someone spiritual death. Right? That's what this is. Judgment card and Tower card says Mars and Pluto are ruled by Scorpio. Scorpio is a death card. It's like literally, if you turn 8 to the side, it looks like a chain, right? Like somebody broke a chain. In other words, somebody didn't go to God first. They broke a chain of command. They went right to themselves. They're like, okay, well, I choose me. I am God. Like, not in a sense that I have God in me. I am other people's gods. That's where somebody went wrong. Some people went wrong. That's where these two energies went wrong. That they chose themselves to be other people's gods. Like, that, and a whole lot of text is like a big no-no. So you step right on the side. You step right on the side. You are divinely protected. I'm not trying to be nowhere where that lightning hits. So your strengths in a situation, that's your strength right there. You fear God. Like, no, you have source inside of you to be somebody else's God. That's a complete and total abuse of power. Absolutely not. You're being conservative with your time. Somebody decide they just gonna rip you and somebody apart. They show no mercy in a very. You got to remember when the moon moves through Scorpio, that speaks to money and it speaks to sex. Okay, just be straight out with it, clear. When the moon moves through Scorpio, we're talking about unhealthy and wounded. Like when you talk about like who you may have dated in the past, like in terms of like just like regret, like in unhealthy ways. Like you may have said, like back in the day, people would put a red X over somebody's like, okay, yeah, I may have gone to school with that person, we may have dated, but I don't like that person anymore. I regret dating that person. You might put a red X over a person's picture, or I would regret spending time with that person, right? And a situation here, somebody wanted to break somebody, like just really break somebody's spirit. And here, you rose above judgment, right? Rising above judgment of someone, and you're being conservative with your time. You're being conservative with your time. Because you're letting God handle a situation. These energies would love to say that you are the bully, right? They would love to say that you are the bully. You're the bully. This is what people have in common. You're the bully. They're justified in causing you some kind of blood, or you pay you back in some kind of blood. I mean, just violent. Source is saying to you, that's your strength. Your strength is that you know how to be conservative with your time, and you know how to let God handle stuff. That's the strength of your faith right there. They may have lost faith, but you haven't lost faith in God. I'm not trying to be religious. I'm just reading the cards here, but that's the level of faith that you have. Let's see. Near future, your short-term and future. Your short-term, future, and how things may turn out if you don't change the direction. Yeah. This is what I'm talking about right here. These energies are saying that you're playing mind games, right? That you are the one that is willing to, at all costs. This right here is impulsive. This right here. These energies are being impulsive behind your back. This is conversation that's going on behind your back. I'm just picking up on energy here. Raise your frequency. They're trying to control how you expand. This is this right here. So you have so many opportunities coming your way, and they're doing this behind your back. So they're trying to control a narrative here and saying that you're the one that's a bully. But they're telling on themselves. You don't have to give it any energy whatsoever. These energies are telling on themselves, child. Keep your vibrations high. They're the ones that's the bullies. Look, so change, conflict, decisions, evolution, instability. Nothing to do with you. This you're built strong. You're a prayer warrior. So, like I said, keep praying for people. Let them box with God. You don't have nothing to do with that. So near future and influences on you, the influences on you and how they affect the situation and likely outcomes. Likely outcomes, right? Yeah. Something has already come to an end, right? Some energies were trying to put an end to your north node, or at least what they thought was your north node. That already came to an end because it wasn't your north node to begin with, right? So anything, looking at your cards here, that they thought they could attack, they would try to attack. Let's see all these bowls here. Anything creatively that they could create to get you to pour out that they can attack. Anything they could create. I'm talking about in terms of darkness. They could create. If it's music, you see this music note here. If it's sexuality, anything they feel like they can attack to ruin your future when you get into your 11th house. This is your friendships. This is your whatever. Source is saying, Source already has your group of energies. You already have a community of energies that you inspire. This is why the window of opportunity is wide open. This is why your window of opportunity is wide open, because there are people who are basically saying, this person is creative, they're kind-hearted, they're really sweet. The same thing I've been saying about you all in my readings, that you all are sweethearts. Same thing. Same. Hopes and fears. The very same thing that these energies try to ruin you, whoever you are. These could be people that you work with. I'm just going to say your personal or your professional life. The same things that you were bullied by are the same things that these energies are sending your way, right? Source is sending your way because of your level of compassion, because of your ability to rise above judgment, because of what these energies did to try to break your spirit, yours and someone else's spirit. Hopes and fears. I would be scared to play somebody else's God, for real. I mean, for real. There's just too much responsibility. As a human being, that's just too much. Like, for real, you trying to figure out your own life to try to play somebody else. Here we have an Ace of Swords here. So, yeah. So, you don't have to ask motive, because Ace of Swords is about motive, right? So this is new starts, individuality, innovation, willpower, unity. You don't really have to ask motive. You already know what the motive is. Because somebody couldn't break your spirit. That's the motive. Okay. So that's what I'm seeing here. The Seven of Cups here. So your source has already brought your divine group of energies in, just so you know, right? They've already tried to prove that you are a bully, that you're win at all costs, whatever. Okay. These energies, like I said before, give it zero air. I'm talking about raise your frequency, because you're already there in the spiritual realm. They've already broken somebody else in, right, to a point where they're too afraid to even say anything about whatever. You're already praying for them, because they didn't get away with whatever they think they got away with. They ain't getting away with nothing, right? So you made it to you made it to your 11th house, right? And so now these energies are basically saying you're the one that's obsessed. Anybody with, I'm serious, and for real, anybody with any common sense knows how these energies operate. Anybody with any common sense knows how these energies operate. So don't even, I'm telling y'all, don't give it any air. None. Raise your frequency. Raise your frequency. Raise your frequency. See how this thing right here, this is a snake right here. You see these ladders here? These energies are calling you a snake, right? But we're talking about the duality of things, right? Anybody, the scales that are removed from anyone's eyes, and you have some kind of an awakening, some kind of a kundalini awakening, some, spiritual awakening, however long it takes, they're not the same. Kundalini experience and awakening would be something sudden, like you were suddenly awakened by something, right? A spiritual awakening takes longer. It could take you years to awaken to something. But whenever you woke up, whenever the scales from your eyes were removed, right? About whatever. This right here, Seven of Cups, connects us with Scorpio. And you ended something and you moved on. However it happened, it could have been anything that could have happened. You could have finally decided, okay, there are no more, maybe from a small town where there were no more jobs, whatever. And you decided, hey, like you see on a lot of documentaries, people would say, in order for them to like make it big, they had to move outside of their little small town or whatever the situation is. Because that's what I'm kind of sort of picking up here with this music note here. So wherever somebody may have moved to, somebody may have thought that your goal was to make it big in music. That may not even have been your goal at all, but to attack that for you and someone else, thinking that that was your north node. Like what? But see, only thing they did was whatever their north node is, whoever these energies are, whatever their north node is, all they did was create karma for themselves. Whatever their north node is, that's all they did was create karma for themselves. So you don't have to do anything. Keep your vibrations high. You don't have to do anything. That's why I always tell people, you don't have to be on get back time. Forget, nobody escapes karma. You don't have to do a thing. You don't have to do a thing. You're in your north node. Operate in your north node. Stay in your north node. You have tons of opportunities coming across your path. You don't have to do anything. That's what Source is trying to tell you. Rise above judgment. Rise above your judgment. You found your group of energies here. You found your group of energies here, whoever you are. People, Source is saying, people relocate. This is what this is, Seven of Cups here. People move on from jobs or geographical locations for various reasons. And because this music note came out, this is where it lets me know that there's, before we get to 10 of Cups, it was Ace of Cups all the way up to 9, then 10 of Cups right here. By the time somebody got to 9 of Cups, somebody says, okay, they're getting a lot of their wishes fulfilled. By the time you got to 9 of Cups, people were like, we cannot let Cancer get to 10 of Cups. We cannot let Cancer, and somebody could be you and your spouse, right? Or you and a significant other, you and somebody. We cannot let them get to 10 of Cups. And then guess what? Source got you and somebody the 10 of Cups anyway, and it wasn't even what other people thought it. Child, I can't even. That's just way too much energy. Now y'all starting to catch on why I say close out cycles in love on my channel. Close out cycles in love. Stop trying to play people's gods. That's the reason right there. Spend all of that time to try to mess up somebody's 10th house, their North Node, for what? So these energies are obsessed with bullying you. They're obsessed with bullying you. And it's showing, right? So, yeah, doing some kind of Saturn return. This is what you have in common. This is what you and somebody have in common. There it is. So, but see, you already feel fulfilled. This is your card right here. You already feel fulfilled. Yeah, so you're getting a message here that what you have in common is just kind of being an open book. It gives people a lot of ideas, but this is really just to be helpful, to just because you have a big heart, of just helping people, right? And it sends out a message, you know, to people. It's like, why this person being such a big-hearted person? Why they such an open book? You know, but this is exactly what people prayed for. But it's because it's you. Whoever you are, you could be a man or a woman. If a woman prayed for you as a man and they said, you know what, I want a nice guy who's a sweetheart, you know, like I always say, Cancer's a sweetheart. You know, it would be nice if I met a guy, he's a sweetheart, you know, but, you know, in their experience with Cancers could have been like Cancers were kind of, you know, just in receiving mode, like kind of maybe quiet, homebodies or whatever. Let's say you're the kind of Cancer who's an open book. Let's say that you're, you know, even if it makes you nervous, you know, to kind of be open. But let's say you're a Cancer that's an open book. You know, you have a lot of ideas. You're open and sharing with people and stuff like that. If somebody is not ready to be in a relationship with you, they're going to be like, oh my God, they overshare. They talk too much. What I say in the beginning, darned if you do, darned if you don't. Sources say, rise above the judgment and learn how to say, okay, you know what? You fulfilled. You already fulfilled, child. You fulfilled. Oh, you already fulfilled. Yeah. So, yeah. You woke up. You finally woke up from a nightmare. It's one energy in particular you stopped talking to, and that was the end of your nightmare. Now you feel fulfilled. That's why somebody can be high vibrational. It was one energy in particular you stopped talking to, and that ended your nightmare. Whoever the energy is, it took you a minute to figure it out. It took you a minute to figure something out. But when that moon moved through, when Mercury, which is a communication planet, moved into Leo, you to close out a cycle and rise above the judgment, and you are a prayer warrior. And you're a prayer warrior. Look, he's saying, right, raise above. You don't have to be obsessed. You I'm telling you, I don't have to rise above all of that. You don't have to be obsessed. These two energies, right? Whoever these two energies are right here, that were trying to phase you and somebody out. And it's two of them. They were trying to phase you and somebody out. You can release it. Every day it becomes easier to receive the highest divine plan and to trust my inner guidance. So you're letting Source handle it. Heart chakra cleanse. Yep, heart chakra cleanse. Because somebody is connected to stability, to your stability, your security, or you're connected to theirs. It's like, you know, that your head and heart are not unclear about the stability, security, authority, foundation, structure. That's what number 4 is, right? That's what number 4 is. So yeah, let source handle the situation. Yeah, let source handle the situation. Because this right here is that, like, you may be separated from somebody, but you still talk to them. This right here, while they're working, you still talk to somebody, maybe while they work. So make sure you get out in the sun. Make sure you get out in the sun. I am insightful. 2 and 9 is 11. So you are highly intuitive and creative. Your mind thinks in pictures and you seem to draw information and ideas from out of the sky. A powerful drive to know the oneness of all things. Yeah, because you are enlightened. 2 and 9 is 11. 11 symbolizes light. So you being an open book is actually helping more people. The fact that you have a big heart, you really are a sweetheart, are helping more people than you realize. It's actually sending a message out to a lot of people. So I feel like looking at your cards here, somebody could channel messages. So when it sounds like you're walking around on eggshells, you could be channeling other people's energy as well. You know, very much like when I'm reading cards and I'm saying, well, just not just me, but other readers too, and channeling energy, right? Those energies are, like I said, impulsive. They looking for anything. Y'all gotta stop giving people air, for real. Don't give them no air, none. 0, zip, zilch, none. That is why y'all hear readers say all the time, especially if you're new to reading cards. If you're online, you're reading cards and it's out to the world. You know, this right here would make it international already. World Wide Web here. Let people know. Take only what resonates with you. That's it. Everything is not going to resonate with everybody. These are the type of energies that sit home and watch readings, and if they familiar, they wouldn't even tell you that they even watch you. They just be on the phone calling everybody, telling lies, filling in the blanks. But they said this and they said it, and I think this and I think that because I remember such and such. Just messy. So you rise above it. You have willpower. Give it 0 energy. 0. None. You have a life, and you are not obsessed with these energies. Not at all. You're focusing on, like I said, 2 and 9 is 11. Your 11th house. So it already has your group of energies right there. That's what you're focusing on. That's what I have for you. I'll see you all in the next video. Bye.